Throw the goddamn flag! What the hell's going on out here?
If you get your feelings hurt, that's too bad.
Don't be cute. Don't be pretty. Be good.
7 teams were in the hunt for a new head coach, and they wasted no time interviewing and picking their guys right from the start. Some selections were surprises, and some we pretty much all saw coming. New ideas, new identity, new culture for the players that are on the respective teams. And I gotta admit, I'm really intrigued to see what every single one of these guys does. I have, of course, heard of some of these guys before, but some of these faces are new. One guy is making his NFL return, Jim Harbaugh, becoming the new head coach for the LA Chargers, which just adds on to Harbaugh's interesting football life, with him going to coach his old college team in Michigan, now coming back to the NFL to coach another team that he played for in the Chargers. Man, I gotta say, I'm really excited to see this. This is where I wanted Harbaugh to go. After seeing what he did in San Francisco with Alex Smith when he first got there, I can't wait to see what he does with Justin Herbert. A young quarterback that showed a lot of promise and talent and just needs help. And I really think Jim Harbaugh is just the guy to help him get to the next level, as well as the Chargers organization. Even though it's hard to see him go, we all knew that Michael McDonald would one day land a head coaching job, and that's exactly what happened when the Seattle Seahawks decided to bring him in to be the head guy in charge. After bouncing back and forth between the Harbaugh brothers from Michigan to Baltimore, McDonald created one of the best defenses in the NFL we've seen in a long time in Baltimore, leading the group to be the first team in NFL history to lead in all 3 categories of sacks, points per game, and interceptions, which was enough for Seattle to bring him in to be the next head coach for their football team, especially after witnessing it firsthand. This will be McDonald's first go-around as a head coach in the NFL, and if he's anything like he was as a defensive coordinator, he and his squad are going to cause a lot of problems for the other teams in the NFL. Raheem Morris, former defensive coordinator for the LA Rams and also a former head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is now the new head coach for the Atlanta Falcons, where he spent time from 2015 to 2020 as defensive backs coach, assistant head coach, interim head coach, and defensive coordinator. So this is another situation of homecoming for this guy as well. And I'm not going to lie, me being a defensive football fanatic, I'm just ecstatic with all the defensive coordinators and defensive guys getting head coaching jobs right now. Anyway, Atlanta had been in need for a good head coach for a long time. The last guy they had there, I don't even know what they were thinking. I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did. But now they got Coach Raheem, and he's walking into guys like Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson, the rookie that just got from Texas. And I'm excited to see what this guy comes in and does. I know he's going to bring a different kind of energy. I know he's going to use these guys the appropriate way as opposed to what they were being used last season. But the first step's the draft. So let's see what these dirty birds are made of. And before I get into the last guy I want to talk about, I must say this. Anybody else hire this guy as their head coach, I'm going to laugh my butt off. Seriously, if you think it's a good idea at this point, you just haven't been paying attention.
Right now!
I don't have to say anything else after that, but I'm going to anyway. After I found out the Raiders came to their senses and hired Antonio Pierce as their next head coach, I daggone near lost my mind. I was rooting for this guy to be the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. This guy, to me, is a true Raider. He grew up in the area when he was a kid, was a huge Raiders fan. The players respect him, the crowd loves him, and above all else, he beat the Chiefs. He beat the Super Bowl champions, guys. And that, to me, is something very important. I wanted to see how this guy would do as the interim head coach. He came in, and basically for him, his alone, 5-4 record, which ended up for the Raiders being an 8-9 season, which is pretty good in my book, especially for a guy that just got thrown into the head coaching position at mid-season. Another former player turned head coach, he won a Super Bowl with the New York Giants, so he knows what it takes to be a champion. And it always speaks volumes where the players are fighting for you to get the job. Max Crosby was very vocal that he wanted Antonio Pierce to be his next head coach in Vegas. And now that he's got the job, comes the next challenge. He is going to build his own staff, get his own players, draft his own players, free agency, all that stuff. He has more say-so now that he is the head coach. So what kind of team is he going to form over there in the black hole? or the Death Star, whichever you prefer. And the reason I mentioned that it was a big deal that he beat the Chiefs is because it's a well-known fact. Everybody knows they're division rivals. So he's going to see Patrick Mahomes twice a year. So in order for this team to be great, they're going to have to go through Pat Mahomes and them Chiefs. I've never been a head coach. I've never been a GM. But if I'm building a team and I'm in the same division as those guys, I'm looking to build a team that will beat them every single time. And if I can do that, I know I ain't got to worry about nobody else. With the offseason now officially open, all these head coaches have an opportunity to leave their mark and build their culture. I'm very excited to see what these guys got in the works. And I've been hearing a lot of people who are sad because, the football season's over. But just like these guys and the other coaches in the NFL, for the Rough House, football is never over. Thank you for watching this video. By all means, like, share, and leave a comment. And if you want to see more content, go ahead and push the subscribe and notification button for videos already up and for the ones to come.